Today we're telling you what we want from the Canon M50 Mark II. Hello, I'm Dave from TVR Creators. If you've only just joined us or this is your first time, I make weekly YouTube video tips on building your brand and growing your channel. If that sounds like something that you're enthusiastic about, subscribe now. So the Canon M50 Mark II is the rumour name for the camera. They could change it to 0.2 or just call it the new Canon M50. But I'll tell you what, this video is going to tell you, I'm so pumped up today on what I want to tell you about. I really want to tell you guys why I think the Canon M50 Mark II is a camera worth looking at. Now at the moment I'm using the Canon M50 and I love this camera. It's absolutely brilliant, and you can see it in one of our other videos. I'll leave a link in the description to why I think the Canon M50 itself is a great camera. But I want to tell you what I really want from the new one. Now, one of the small cutbacks with the Canon M50, which perhaps sort of gives a bit of a shorter time length as a content creator, is the fact that you can't do full 60 frames per second in 4K, and 4K is a little bit limited on the M50 compared to other cameras from other makes and stuff like that. So perhaps it would be awesome to have full-blown 4K. That's something that would give it a bit of future proofing for future content creators for a few years to come. Perhaps something that'd be quite cool actually. I love the flip screen. The flip screen is brilliant and I have talked about that a lot, but perhaps I have seen on one of the Sonys the screen at the back pops up at the top. That's a cool little feature, and what I like about that perhaps would be that it'd be easier to set up, and if you're anything like me, I like to set up my gear as quick as possible so I can crack on with filming, and I'm sure many of you out there that's something else that you're interested in. So as much as I like the flip around screen, it's a brilliant screen, it's a touch screen, and but maybe if it just popped at the back, that'd be something cool as well. A second jack for your audio. Now you might think, okay, but what I would say that perhaps overuse, that sometimes jacks might get a bit worn out, and rather than having to buy a whole new camera or mess around with a new body and stuff like that, if you had a second jack, then if one of the jacks got a bit worn out, it won't matter so much. So then you could just use the other one and that would give a bit more life to the camera. Have even more lenses for the next Canon M50, which would be something that would be really exciting to have. And that would just expand the creativity that us content creators could achieve with a new camera. That's something that'd be really cool. I must admit, a lot of the features that I love on the M50, I wouldn't at the moment want much improvement upon. I know you're thinking, well, you're just saying get a new camera, but what I'm saying is because the Canon M50 is still an awesome camera, if you don't want to wait for the new Mark II, then just go out and get a Canon M50, because it more than likely will have all the features that you need, and it has loads of manual features, and a lot of them I've not even bothered using, because I find with a good lens, the kit lens that comes with the Canon M50 is just so good anyway, that one auto just gives a really good, and as long as I've lighted the room or wherever you're filming right, it's just a brilliant camera. But thinking about what I would really like from perhaps a new Canon M50, perhaps you can make it slightly lighter as things get more modern. Not saying that the Canon M50 isn't light, because it's extremely light compared to the cameras I've used, but perhaps making it a bit lighter might just make it a bit easier to carry when you're walking around. Perhaps you could just change the clip on the lens, so perhaps the lens could come off even easier. Another cool feature would be perhaps you could do voice commands. That would be quite cool. Perhaps you could go record, and the camera would recognize that. I don't see why in this day and age with phones and stuff why you couldn't have that. That'd be quite cool. I do like the fact with the original M50 and a lot of cameras now, you can actually use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities to transfer your pictures from your camera to your phone, and therefore obviously you can post your photos straight to social media, which is a great feature to have. So I'm hoping obviously the new one continues with that. So that's another great feature that we definitely would like. So if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying the content, please give us a like and a share and subscribe to this channel. Perhaps a longer life battery, though I know you can buy them anyway, but it'd be quite cool if it maybe comes with a kit battery that has a bit more longer life on it. Maybe it's a bit bigger so you don't have to keep swapping it as regularly. Though saying again, the Canon 50 battery does tend to last a while, and it is easy enough to buy 2 or 3 spares. But if you had a bigger battery, it might just make it a bit more convenient for people that perhaps don't want to buy multiple batteries. There's perhaps 2 slots for SD cards. So perhaps, you know, if you can't afford like I mean, obviously, if you got a Canon M50, obviously not cheap anyway, but if you had 2 slots for your SD cards, perhaps you could have 2 small SD cards that are a bit cheaper, but you could take much more pictures, which is great for if you're on holiday or if you're out and about. You could take even more pictures. You could do much more filming. You wouldn't even have to think about running out of space because you'd have 2 SD cards. And later on down the road, you got even bigger capable memory SD cards and even faster pro ones. That would again extend the value of the camera and also allow you to take even more pictures and even more film. Get value and support the brand. Support TVR creators by checking out our store for awesome t-shirts designed by me and some cool mugs, and I've also recently done some cool original TV random branding for those of you that have been watching my videos for years. It's just like a little sort of thank you to you guys. So support the channel by all means by buying one of our merches. It would mean a lot, and just by watching and supporting the channel, you guys really are awesome. Want from a new camera in the minute is perhaps just a few more features, you know, even better engineering on the lenses that they bring out to make them, you know, even more intelligent and stuff like that. But on the whole, I've got to say, if Canon are ever watching this, I love the M50. So if you can improve upon a camera that is already amazing, massive thumbs up to you. You guys rock for doing that. You know, just saying. So the question of the day then, what would you like from the new Canon M50 Mark II? And just briefly, it's going to come out either later this year, but more likely next, so just bear that in mind. So if you're desperate for it, perhaps just go with the M50, but if you really want to wait, it'll probably come out sort of the beginning of next year, but look out for updates. So thank you for watching. If you got value from today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the rest of it. I'm sure you know by now. Don't forget to look in the description for lots of links to our Twitter feed and our merch site and other playlists and videos that you might find interesting. If you got value from this, feel free to comment below, ask any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them about, you know, cameras or editing or anything to do with filming or, you know, YouTubing. Have a great day, keep pushing videos, and those of you that keep making your videos, you guys are awesome. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. You guys rock.